What's up? It's the FEEKING Show. Welcome back to the FEEKING Show. It goes down every Friday, God willing, from 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time until 12 noon. We are working on a new format. The FEEKING Show for sure is moving next month. June 19th, the week of the 19th is our move launch date on Indie Media Soup. So that means that the FEEKING Show will not be on Instagram Live. We will not be on Facebook Live. We will not be on YouTube Live. However, where we will be live is on the Indie Media Soup's website. They have their own channel. So we're going to be on Roku. There's a whole bunch. I don't know all of them, but I will communicate efficiently and with some quickness so that you know where to find us. We will be doing teasers on these other platforms, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. FEEKING has a producer. I tell you, all you get to do is just manifest and believe, ask and it is given, and manifest and believe. Welcome back to the FEEKING Show. I am your host, FEEKING. We do this again every Friday, God willing, at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Sometimes we'll have guests. We're going to be implementing new segments to the show. One of those segments will be when blue collars ball out of control, because I want to knock on your door. Eventually, I'm going to have a knock, y'all. So pretend this is a knock, 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 knock. Can I come in and see your house? And what do you do? And how do you do it? Where do you do it? And why do you do it? There is such an incredible, stimulating, invigorating awesomeness as it pertains to architecture in Baltimore City. And I want y'all to see it. I want you to feel it and experience it. I want you all to know what is possible for you. Baltimore City is where it is as it pertains to real estate. Like, the real estate market is off the chain. The houses here are beautiful. When I say beautiful, every single day I feel like I'm driving through England, and then I do a drive-by Scotland, and then we bump into Paris, and then we fly over Germany, and then we just kind of graze by Amsterdam. That is what I experience on a daily basis. Okay, so before I get into this, I want to just thank a few people. I want to start out thanking my producer, the one and only Mr. Sekou Wrights. Thank you for being on this journey with me. Thank you for saying yes. Thank you for helping me. Thank you for teaching me. Thank you. I also want to shout out the one and only Her Glow Candy, because her jewelry is definitely a conversation piece. I am one of her ambassadors repping her line. We have purses, necklaces, ear candy, hats. I absolutely love Her Glow Candy Shop. Her Glow, HERGLOW, candy.com. I so hope I got that right. I will be sharing more. We have specials for Mother's Day, specials for every single day, because as women, we ought to, right, feel special and know that we're special. Secondly, thank you so much, Ms. Beauty Jador. That will be my one and only baby sister. She laced me with this handmade, beautiful shirt. And let me tell you something. Normally you wouldn't see this, but I don't have anyone to zip me up, and that's okay, right? I absolutely love this fabric. It's crop top, it's flowy, it's breezy. It is absolutely yummy, delicious, and perfect for the spring and the summer, because y'all, it is going to be 84 degrees in Baltimore City. 84 degrees in Baltimore City. So I want you to shout out where you are tuning in to the FEEKING Show. What city, what state, what country, what city, what state, what country, and let's get this show on the road. Hat game. So I want to talk about Mother's Day for so many reasons, and I'm getting my little trusty notes out. Because here's the thing. When my mother was alive, my mother transitioned in 2011 of leukemia. Rest in peace, Donna Marie. And several Mother's Days prior to that, I told her, like I did with Christmas, I said, Mama, I said, you know, we're not going to keep doing these Mother's Days, right? I said, because I don't feel like I need to be told and pressured by society to honor you, to love you, to respect you, and to shower you with love and adoration and gifts. And she was like, what do you mean? I was like, you know what I mean? Just like with Christmas, I stopped buying my mother Christmas gifts and I started sending her cards and gifts throughout the year. I said, so this is going to be a transition for me. I'm going to ease up out of this Mother's Day thing because I love you every day. And every day is Mother's Day. And so I would do that. I would send her gifts. I would send her cards. I would have people call my mom just at random times throughout the year. And I would still do things for her on Mother's Day, like getting her ready. But then I thought, oh, that's a lot of pressure because I don't want her to feel bad when her friends are getting things. But I wanted to go down the rabbit hole. I said, okay, what is Mother's Day really about? When did it start? Who started it? And how much money are we predicted to spend during Mother's Day, which is just one day? So if you didn't know, Mother's Day is happening this Sunday. Mother's Day is happening May 14th. It is predicted that Americans are going to spend $57 billion. What? On cards, on candy, on flowers, on jewelry. Some mothers are out there, they're going to get cards, and on dinners, brunch, lunch, and breakfast. I said, OMG. OMG. Imagine, though, if we did that for our mothers and our aunties and our big mamas and our mother figures and the women who have poured into us every day. Like, imagine every day if we honored them in some way. So I learned that. I wanted to share that with you. And I want to hear your funniest mother stories. I have mine. I want you to type it in the chat. This is a new platform for me, so I don't know where or how I'm going to see it, but I trust that my producer is going to help me. And I know we're on the gram. Hi, Cousin Rosetta. Happy pre-Mother's Day to you. And so this is what I learned about Mother's Day. It became a nationally recognized holiday not too long ago, a little over 100 years ago, so it's still fairly new. 1914, Mother's Day became a celebration, an official holiday. President Woodrow Wilson proclaimed Mother's Day a national holiday to be celebrated every year on the second Sunday of May. I am saying let us celebrate it every single day. It is such a blessing. If you still have your mother and your father, it is such a blessing to still have them. So celebrate them every day. Who created this American tradition called Mother's Day? All right, the day we now recognize as Mother's Day came from the efforts of Anne Jarvis's daughter, Anna, in the 20th century. Anna saw how valiantly her mother expressed activism to give mothers the recognition they deserve. She made it her life's mission to get Mother's Day onto the national calendar. In 1908, this woman, Anna Jarvis, her daughter, Anna, sparked the first widely recognized celebration of the holiday while she held a public memorial for her mother in Grafton, West Virginia. Of course, we knew it was a woman, right? The origins of celebrating motherhood can be traced back to ancient Greece. It goes way, way back, and Rome, where festivals were held in honor of their mother goddesses, Rhea and Sybil, Cybele. So I will be going down the rabbit hole to find out who mother goddesses Rhea and Sybil were. So it's fascinating. And I want to know what you're doing for your mother on this Mother's Day, and more importantly, what you do for your mother on a regular basis. I tell you, when I was a young girl, my mother would tell me, make sure you fall in love with a man who loves his mother. So my mom used to give me advice that I was way too young for, way too young to process. I mean, I think she believed that I was really mature, and I was. However, certain areas, I was just like, I don't know what she's talking about. Why is she talking about men? Like, I don't like men. I like boys. I remember her telling me, she actually got mad at me for shaving my legs. Like, she got mad at me for shaving my legs. She said men like women with hair on their legs. Dear mama, I don't like men. I was so confused by that. So when she told me that you want to make sure that you love a man who loves his mother, on a very base level, I got that. But then I thought, like, who doesn't love their mother? Now I get it. Now I get it. Oh, now I so get it. So ladies, if you have men in your life who show love and respect, when I say show, I'm not talking about just making the phone calls, but I'm talking about being there for their mother when their mother needs it, whether it's a health situation, a financial situation, a mental, emotional situation. We want to make sure that we're being with men who are showing up for the women in their lives. And I want to commend Sekou Wrights for showing up for his mom. I've known Sekou for a long time, and Sekou for a long time has, ever since I've known him, and I've known him for a long, long, long time, he has been showing up for his mother, and I see it. And that is so important to me. That is so important. I think as women, that ought to be important to all of us, right? All right. So show up for your moms, whatever they need, especially as they start to age, because today is not even promised. And so let us show up for the people that we love, and let us love and respect them. Let us love and respect ourselves, right? All right. So here's my funny story about my mother. My mom was something else. Y'all know she was something else because I wrote a one-woman show about her. My show is titled Mama Was a Bad Mother. Shut your mouth. Because my mama was a bad mother. My mama was a bad mama. And so I remember when Nikki and we were in grade school. We were definitely in grade school. I'll never forget, we lived on North 36th Street in Omaha, Nebraska. My mom, she was a young mom. I realized when I got older, I realized how young she was. So imagine being 23 years old, and you have two children. She had me at 20. She was pregnant at 19. And so, of course, at that age, she still wanted to go out. She dated. She went out to parties. We had a lot of house parties at the house, hence me writing a one-woman show about my mom. And so this one time she went out. I'm not for sure where she was, but it was April Fool's Day. And so, like, literally spur of the moment, I realized I've always been a spur of the moment, kind of last minute, off the cuff kind of person. Nikki and I heard her pulling up we had a driveway in the front. This was not premeditated. And so I said to Nikki, Nikki, get the ketchup. And so Nikki didn't even ask what it was for. She just ran into the kitchen, got the ketchup. I said, I'm going to douse your chest with ketchup. I'm going to put ketchup all over me and on my hands. I said, and we're going to lay on the floor like we're dead. And when mama comes in, she's going to be scared. Okay. So this was the kind of humor that we had. So we did the whole thing. I doused Nikki with ketchup. I doused myself with ketchup. And we could hear our mom up the steps. So I was like, lay on the floor and, play dead. Again, we're kids. Nikki's 3.5 years younger than me. And we heard our mom come in, like I heard her. And y'all, I heard her quickly shut the door. So I'm thinking she's in the house until I hear her running down the steps. Y'all, she's in the car. The ignition is started. And Nikki and I get up and we run to the door. We were like, Mama. And I'm like, yo, where are you going? I was like, I looked at Nikki. Nikki looked at me like, we're young, but we know you were leaving. And so when she gets in the house, y'all, she was something else. She was a Black mama. So after going off on us, telling us to never do that again, I said, but you were leaving. She was like, what was I supposed to do? Y'all were already gone. I was like, but you didn't even check for a pulse, anything. She said, I was going to get help. She said, but there was no reason for me to stay there. It's just like, my mom was something else. I can't remember if I have that part in the show, but Nikki and I talk about that often and we laugh about it because we were like, look, she was like, this is not the movie. I am not going to be, she said, because I didn't know if someone was still in the house. So I was leaving. I was like, okay, mama. Anyway, if you have a funny story that you'd like to share or something uh, epic, something just that that you think you'll never forget, and that every time you bring it up, you get to go down memory lane about your mother, your auntie, your big mama. Feel free to share it, type it in the chat. So with this new format, okay, so where's the time? Oh, okay, it's 11:46. All right, I'm doing good on time. Sorry if I messed anything up. I'm doing good on time. All righty, we did thank yous, shout outs for earrings, producer, and Beauty J'adore. I don't think I said that, but my sister's company is Beauty J'adore. For all of you women out there, if you're into making your own clothes or learning how to sew, you definitely want to follow Beauty. That's Beaute. J'adore, Jad as in David, Ore. That's Beauty J'adore on Instagram, Facebook. My sister makes downloadable patterns. So you purchase the pattern, you download it, you make it, and bam. So I'm very fortunate that she gives me things, and she gives me like test patterns. And I'm telling you, this shirt here is so cute. And you all know I love anything with my shoulders out. Like that is my thing. So here's another thing. I don't know if you know this about me, but I drive Uber. Uber. I talk about it a lot, but I realize sometimes we need to hear a thing 20, 30, 40 times before we really get it. So in addition to being a virtual personal trainer and inspirational speaker, I fund my dream via Uber. And here's the thing, what I love, especially now about Uber, is I get to curate these stories. Things happen in the Uber that I cannot make up. I encounter situations, circumstances, people in the Uber that I don't know how and where else I would have these experiences. And I love it. There are days and nights when I'm exhausted and I'm like, oh God, I just don't know if I have it in me. And then I remember, you're not only doing this to serve the community and to make an income, you are doing this to curate these stories and share these stories. Because on any given day, I believe things that are happening in the Uber will inspire you the way that they inspire me. So I want to share this new segment to the FEEKING Show called Uber Chronicle Corner. I am Fee King, your local fitness girl. Run that thing. This is Uber Chronicles Corner. King, I'm out here in these streets. I picked up a lovely young older woman. It was the cutest thing. It was the cutest thing. I saw two people standing on the corner. I'm thinking, oh, okay, so I'm picking up a couple, taking them somewhere. It was her husband walking her to the Uber. It just reminded me of a mom or a parent walking their child to the school bus. So he's, directing me, doing all the things. She gets in the car. I'm waiting for him. And he taps the car like, all right, that's it. And so I said, oh, he just walks you to the car? She said, yeah, that's my husband. I was like, okay, Miss Kim, you got a husband who is watching out for his boo. That she was my first passenger of the morning. That she and her husband have set the tone for my day. Watch out for your loved ones, y'all. This is Uber Chronicles. Peace. I just love that so much. Some of the stories are uplifting, really soft and beautiful and encouraging, and like life. Some of the stories get a little heavy. Some of the stories, there's some crying going on in the Uber. I will be sharing all of it. And going forward, I'm hoping, I'm planning, I'm expecting, I am manifesting that I will be bringing some of my passengers onto the Uber. I will be bringing some other Uber drivers onto the platform, because let me tell you something. It is something else out here in these DMV streets. That stands for DC, Maryland, Virginia. Sometimes I've gone to New York. I've gone all the way to Pennsylvania in Uber. There's nothing. And I said, oh my goodness, who knew I would grow up to be a glorified taxi cab driver / tour guide? And I'm learning that I know Baltimore City, especially, as if I was from here. And I love being able to recommend restaurants, museums, things to do, places to go, festivals. I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm really invested in my community. I'm so invested. Some people have been messaging me, asking me, all right, Feet King, so what are you reading? Because you talk about books a lot. You talk about running and reading. And yes, so I want to share some of the books that I am reading, not all of them at the same time. However, running and reading helps us to push through the obstacles because there's a tiny little voice in your head when you're running and you are exhausted, when your lungs feel like they are at the capacity, the threshold to where you cannot go on any longer. There's something that happens in the brain. There's that little voice in the brain that's going to say to you, yes, you can. You have another 2 minutes in you. You have another 2 miles in you. You may even have only another 20 seconds in you, but push through, push a little harder. And I'm reminded of the benefit of me running and reading and knowing that I get to push a little deeper, a little harder. And I know that there's much more in me. And so knowing that, I said, I'm going to challenge myself to run a mile a day, a minimum of a mile a day for 30 days straight consecutive. It was inspired by Sekou Wrights. It's a thing called Run Streak. I never even heard of it until Sekou shared it with me. Sekou started this, I want to say almost 2 years ago, running consecutively he hit 409 days. On his 409th day, for some of you who don't know, many of you do know because we were raising money. We were out there running with him. We were supporting him, helping him to get back to the Sekou we know. And now I'm realizing he's not back to the old Sekou. Like he's going beyond that. He's a whole new Sekou, which I like the old Sekou a lot, but this new Sekou is extraordinary. On Mr. Extraordinary's 409th day, he suffered from a hemorrhagic stroke, which is bleeding on the brain. So now that he's out of the hospital, he's recovering, he's not out of the woods. Well, no, he is out of the woods, but there's still work to be done. There's still work that he gets to do. As of January 1st, he started another run streak. He's been running every single day, up to 8 miles every single day from January 1st until today. So I said, you know what? I feel like I need to do more. I feel like I need to push myself in every area of my life, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. And I literally decided last minute. I was outside running and I said, you know, I'm going to do this every day for 30 days. And I was like, what? Boom. I put it out there. I've committed to it. It is not easy. It is so not easy, yet it is possible. And a lot of it is coordinating my schedule because as you all know, I do a lot of things, right? And so today is day 9. Yes, today is day 9. I get to go outside and run. Today is actually probably the warmest day of the season. And so I'll figure it out. I will be out there running and then I will come in and I will decide on what I'm going to read. Most times I read a chapter because I find if I take in more than that, then I don't absorb it. I don't apply it. So one of the books that I'm reading, that I've been reading for a long, long time is Younger Next Year for Women. Younger Next Year for Women. This is more than a book or read. This is my Bible. The other one, let me tell you, the cover is off this bad boy. This one right here, I probably read, 10, 11 times. This one is by Bob Proctor. You Are Born Rich. You Are Born Rich. You Are Born Rich by Bob Proctor. Powerful, transformative. The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. And I'm just going to share, maybe there's so many really good ones. This is also my second Bible, which is The Wisdom of Menopause by Dr. Christiane Northrup. Let's see if you can see that. And then we have, thank you so much, Rev Melissa and Sekou Wrights, for introducing me to the 30-Day Mental Diet. I have my cousin doing the 30-Day Mental Diet. My friend Dwayne Barnes said he's ordering the book. I shared this one with passengers. And then we have my last two. The Vortex. This is by Esther and Jerry Hicks. They have another book. I want to say their first book is titled Ask and It Is Given. I've read it 12 times. 12 times. So many gems and jewels in that book. The Love Languages, The Five Love Languages by Gary Chapman. Lastly, How to Retire Overseas. Woo! Sometimes I read 2 books because this one I'm doing my best to get a little bit more in at night so that it steeps in my subconscious while I'm sleeping, because I am determined to be able to live in several different locations at the same time. All right. Lastly, I'm going to end with, so that's what I'm reading. That's what I'm doing when I run and read. That is a part of my running and reading program. If you hear noise, they are doing construction on the house next door. So lastly, I want to share something with you that I just got back to. And it's been so important for me to do this because I started doing this when I first moved to Maryland, because it's something that has helped me tremendously, which are affirmations. One of the things about affirmations that I'm learning is it's one thing to say an affirmation. It's another thing to live it and to believe it and to say it over and over until you start believing it. Oftentimes in the Uber, I hear people using words like have to, begrudging going to work. I overhear phone conversations where there's a lot of doubt, a lot of fear, and a lot of faithless-based conversations. And sometimes I'm not able to say anything. I'm not able to plant that seed. And so in those moments where I'm not able to audibly do that, I said, I want to be able to plant a seed and leave people with something, some hope. And so I'm getting back to my affirmation cards, and this is what they look like. What I do is I simply place these cards in my hand, and I believe that whatever you need to receive will be drawn to you. So I don't need to choose for people. They usually will shuffle through. Sometimes they'll pick right from the top. And so I've already shuffled. Let me just go ahead and pick and see what comes up for me today. Oh, I like this. I like it. My affirmation post confirmation for myself, and I believe I can share this with you, is I am winning. I am winning. I am winning. I am winning. You are winning. And so when you're having a moment, you're going throughout your day and you're asking God, why hasn't it happened? When is it going to happen? Trust and believe that God is working in the background on your behalf, and it is all working for your greater good. And you're not winning. You're not losing. You're not failing. You are winning. This is the FEEKING Show. It goes down every Friday, God willing, from 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Who am I? I am a pet parent. I am a sister. I'm a cousin. I'm a sibling. I'm a daughter. I am a friend. I am a girlfriend. I am a lover of all things positive. What do? I help women over the age of 40 specifically, yet not exclusively, get from where they are to where it is they want to be along their health and their wellness journey. Why I love myself so much today that it feels criminal to not share and show that love to other people. How do I keep it all together? Woo! My self-care modality is transcendental meditation, mindfulness meditation, which I'm in the process of receiving my certification for mindfulness meditation, running, training, and reading and praying. That is how I keep sane. I hope that you will tune in next Friday. On the new platform, will be on Fridays and Mondays, Mondays and Fridays, 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time. I bid you love, life, peace, prosperity, abundance, possibility, positivity, not just for today, not just for this weekend, not just for the week or the month or the year, but for your entire life. I am FEEKING. Peace.